Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praises to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother, who is wisdom, who is the Holy Spirit. Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Pray that the Most High blesses this lesson this afternoon, gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past, in order to understand the events that are currently happening on the earth, so we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. I saw this picture here on Instagram, and it really moved me because this is exactly what the Most High has ordained in the spirit world, and it's coming to fruition here in the physical world. And I was listening to a quick little video by King Obadiah talking about how he had a dream, and he was talking about how the dealers were going to give all the Israelites whatever car of their choice. And it just kind of shows you the kind of the things that are going on in the spirit world, the things that our people are dreaming about, the things that we're thinking about, things that might have seemed crazy just a few months ago to the vast majority of the world. But as things are changing, people are seeing a changing of the guard. You know, it was because they're not giving us anything. All these things that they have here are ours. The Most High had already given it to us, everything, you know, that he'd already ordained for us. Like Brother Hawood's video that I shared with you guys about going back into slavery, and he really broke down, you know, how we were slaves and how any and everything we worked for could be taken away at the drop of a hat. And how things are just progressing very rapidly. And there is a prophecy that talks about how the Gentiles, such like the main the ones at the top, we're just going to have their mouths shut. Once this truth starts to come out, they will not have any recourse. They will not have any response. They will just stay with their mouths open. And we're going to look at that really quick, because they have no truth. They have no comeback. You know, kind of reminds me of that Eminem movie, 8 Mile. At the end, when 8 Mile kind of went all off at the end, the championship round, and then the dude at the end was just standing there with his mouth, you know, shut, with nothing to say, because everything that you know, Eminem had already brought out, he already talked about everything. So, you know, what else was there to say? There was nothing else to say. So just like in that movie, you know, of 8 Mile, you know, and Free World had nothing to say. Their whole group got smashed and had nothing to say at the end. That's exactly what the Most High is doing to these other nations right now. All we're saying is, hey, if we're not the Hebrews and we don't fulfill this prophecy, prove to us who does. But see, they don't seem to think that they can't. So now they're left with their mouths, you know, shut and nothing to say. This picture right here epitomizes much of what is in the scriptures of the Bible, as well as the other books, the Book of Mormon, and many other books as well. And as the man is restored to his rightful position, the women will be restored back to their rightful position, and the children as well. Everything will be put back into order, the way that it's supposed to be. I'm going to read first Genesis 15 and 13. You know, we put these kinds of things up because before, when things didn't work out exactly the way people thought, you know, oh, you guys are wrong. This is, you know, you guys don't know what you're talking about. This prophecy has been fulfilled. And we're waiting for the next shoe to drop as far as this prophecy is concerned. But it talks about right here. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. That's talking about the southern kingdoms, you know, affliction. They went through that for 1619 and 2019, and then look at what happened right after that. Look at all the madness that has now come upon the world at the end of 2019. Now we know that the Northern Kingdom, they started their destruction in 1492. So they've been going even a little bit longer. But they were not there when the Southern Kingdom was going through many of the other destruction through when they were going through the stuff with the Babylonians, Persians and Medes, Greeks, Romans. The vast majority of the Northern Kingdom was already gone. So maybe that's why their punishment was a little bit longer or started earlier. Who knows? But that's right there, 15 and 13, and let's read 14. Okay, and also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. Well, that's what we're transitioning into right now. How the Most High said he's going to judge a nation, that did these things to his people. And afterwards shall they come out with great substance. And that goes also with what Brother King Obadiah was talking about in his dream, and vehicles and cars and whatever else the Most High, is going to give back to his people. But if it's not us, then who is it? If it's not our people, then who is it? Being able to just sit there and not say anything and just make those, those dumb looks and just ignore the questions, that's not going to happen anymore. Because the Most High is definitely showing you who the Most High is working with and who he's not. There's this comment right here. This one right here. I just saw this one a little while ago, and this makes so much sense. These other nations are going to be able to sit there. Well, now the Most High is going to force them, because for so long, when we brought up questions, they just ignored them. We brought up our points, they just ignored them, or just went right over them and just act like they didn't hear it. But you're going to hear it now. You're going to hear our points now. You're going to hear them today and going forward. I said, you guys are in no position anymore, to sit here and try to think that we have to prove things to you. You people are now doing blessings from a car across the street now. You're reduced to, that's how you do blessings now. Someone cracked me up talking about how they can do baptisms with a water gun from a distance. That's what they've been reduced to, because they've shown that they have absolutely no power whatsoever. But this comment is so true. The Gentile churches cannot compete with the Most High and his people. They may have been experts in preaching from the pulpit, but Yah has shut that down. Israelites are the real Bible thumpers on the internet and on the street corners too. Even with our debates among each other, these churches can't match our brothers and the superior knowledge the Most High has given them. And that is correct. These other nations cannot match or stand up to any of us as far as the Most High, the ones that he's blessed with this knowledge and understanding. And that goes for anyone, all of our people in the nation. Real quick when you start having a conversation and you start bringing up facts, how quick they don't want to continue that conversation anymore. Because the Most High has blessed us and given us that spirit. And now you can kind of understand why the other nations kept us from reading books, kept us from knowing our history, kept us from knowing absolutely anything. Because they know that once, the Most High is with us and the Holy Spirit's given back to us and given knowledge and understanding again, there's absolutely nothing that they can do to stop us. There's nothing they can do as far as having a conversation, nothing they can do as far as running things. I said, because our people are vastly superior. That's just the way the Most High has set this up. He gave them the opportunity by bringing us down, and they were superior, when they had their blessing. That's all part of the blessing as well. Our people are superior in many different aspects. It's not just, even with book knowledge, physically, mentally, spiritually, and they know it. So therefore, they had to keep all that information away from us. And now it's our time to rise up and be that positive example for the rest of the world, in order for the world now to go back to what she's supposed to be doing, providing for us, and how we're supposed to live harmoniously with the world. So after we've gone through all of our, our punishment, now the Most High is raising us up. So like I said, if it's not us, then who fits this right here? I guess you can say Ish fits this. Ish was in captivity for 400 years. Oh, they want to talk about back then during the time of Exodus. Well, you just don't get to assume that title. You have to prove that mess. And plus, that wasn't even a 400-year captivity. That was 420 years of sojourning. But we're not even going to get into that whole thing right now. You can do some research on that if you guys want to do that. We're going to read a little bit more. Let's read Hosea 1. Hosea 1. We'll start at 9. Okay, I was going to read it verbatim, okay? Then said God, call his name Loami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your God. And that's exactly what happened to us here in these last, 500, 400 plus years. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God. And this prophecy goes even deeper, because in that place where it was said that we are not his people, that was on our own homeland. And on that same homeland of ours is going to be proclaimed that ye are the sons of the living God. And how's that going to be proclaimed? How the Most High is doing it right now. How he's raising up his people. They're telling the truth. And he's going to be shutting the mouths of the kings, shutting the mouths of the priests and pastors, so that, like I said, we have a captive audience, and we're going to be bringing this truth out, and everyone's going to hear it, because the Most High is going to definitely make us heard. Next one I want to read, Baruch 4:25. Okay, Baruch 4 will start at 25. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from the Most High, for thine enemy hath persecuted thee. But shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck. You can hear about this even more in the Book of Mormon, okay? My delicate ones have gone rough ways, and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies. Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry out unto the Most High. For ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. And that's what you're seeing in this picture. The Most High remembering his sons, how they had their eyes covered, and they were blind. They had their crown taken away, and they were at the bottom the entire time. Okay? Let's see here. My delicate ones have gone rough ways, and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies. Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto the Most High. For ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. For as it was your mind to go astray from the Most High, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. For he hath brought these plagues upon you. For he that hath brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy, again with your salvation. Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoice at thy fall. So all these other people, it's just like Revelation 11, who rejoice at our fall and had a great time, they're going to be miserable. Okay? For as she rejoiced at thy ruin, and was glad at thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own as desolation. So they're already complaining about the fact, they want them good old days back. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. So that's exactly what's going on right now. The Most High was taking away that rejoicing. They can go out and party. They can go out and watch their sporting events. They could go out and go shopping. And then they could just ignore our plight the entire time. Our people included, as well as the Gentiles. Okay? So let's see here. I'm going to read that again. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. So it's going to be a great multitude of people who are going to be mourning. Just like that one person tried to say, oh, no, we're all slaves. No, we're not. We have not all gone through this. But see, that's what y'all want to do when you guys don't have any comeback, or you can't go back and find us in the scriptures. You just got to go and try to philosophize, your responses. And that stuff isn't going to work anymore. Okay? For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. Now, as you can see, that's the same thing. Now, first thing the Most High said in 34, he's going to take away the rejoicing of her great multitude. Her pride shall be turned into mourning. Right now, that's exactly what's going on. Remember, I talked about the Colburn Bible. Everything shuts down. Schools shut down. The laughter of children's gone. Laughter and, the fun times of the people are gone. Their Good Friday celebrations gone. Easter celebrations gone. Everything gone. And what does the Most High say next? Oh, 7-year tribulation period for you guys. Again, you're going to go back into slavery to these people, and they're going to be able to kill you for 7 years. No, that's not what it says. Next thing it says, for fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. And that goes back to the Colburn Bible, and that goes back to the same kinds of things I'm going to get into in some other videos really shortly. Okay? O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold, the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High. For lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of the Most High. So, if that's not us, then who is it? If that doesn't, match this picture perfectly, then what does? Last one I'm going to read is out of the Book of Mormon. 3rd Nephi 21. Let me get that real quick. 3rd Nephi 21. We'll start at 7. This is what you're seeing right now. This is prophecy going on right now. This is prophecy being fulfilled right now. The reaction of the kings to our awakening. The reaction to the kings and the other people. When it says kings, it's also talking about the people under him, the underlings. They have no comeback. They have no response as well. 3rd Nephi 21 will start at 7. And when these things come to pass, that thy seed shall begin to know these things, it shall be a sign unto them, that they may know that the work of the Father hath already commenced, unto the fulfilling of the covenant, which he hath made unto the people who are of the house of Israel. And when that day shall come, it shall come to pass that kings shall shut their mouths, for that which had not been told them shall they see, and that which they had not heard shall they consider. See, now they can't prove any of this information that we're bringing out wrong. They can't prove that it's not true. So now they have their mouths shut. The Most High has shut their mouths. He shut the mouths of the kings, all these different people, all these different CEOs, all these people who have been running things are running, leaving, because now they see the truth and they can't contend with it. They can't prove it wrong. Now the Most High shut down their churches. See, they were never trying to prove it wrong. They were just trying to ignore the information and keep the sheep asleep. So now the Most High shut that down as well. So not only shut down the kings, he shut down these soothsayers as well. Let's read that verse 8 again. And when that day shall come, it shall come to pass that kings shall shut their mouths, for that which had been told them shall they see. Let's read that one again. For that which had not been told them shall they see, and that which they had not heard shall they consider. That's prophecy being fulfilled. Look at all the things that are now being shut down. Their colleges are shut down, learning institutions shut down, churches shut down, government, a lot of things shut down. So all the things that were set up to try to prove us wrong aren't there anymore. Priests shut down, pastors shut down. They're just worried about getting paid, getting that money. Who's going to pay my bills? Who's going to give me my, my money so I can, keep living it up? That's what they're worried about. Again, let's read that 8 one more time. And when that day shall come, it shall come to pass that kings shall shut their mouths, for that which had not been told them shall they see, and that which they had not heard shall they consider. For in that day, for my sake, shall the Father work a work, which shall be a great and marvelous work among them. And there shall be among them those who will not believe, although a man shall declare it unto them. We are declaring this truth to them. We are the people that are declaring this truth to them. If they get it, cool, that's great. If they don't, well, that's also part of prophecy as well. But behold, the life of my servant shall be in my hand. Therefore, they shall not hurt him, although he shall be marred because of them. Yet I will heal him, for I will show unto them that my wisdom is greater than the cunning of the devil. And I talks about that also in the Coburn Bible, about how, the leaders of the slaves are stirring up, the masses, and they can't do anything to them. Because that's exactly what the Most High just said he was going to do here. So we got this in 3 different places. We got these in different places, in different books, and they're all saying the same thing. That he's going to raise up, his leaders, the pastors of his sheep, and they're going to be telling the truth. And he's going to shut the mouths of the kings, because they're not going to be able to say anything against what they're bringing out. They're going to be bringing out this truth right here. And there's nothing that these Gentiles are going to be able to do about it, because the Most High has ordained it. And it's something he's been working on for a very long time. He's been working behind the scenes to get all this stuff prepared. And now we've come to that time. Let's continue. 11. Therefore, it shall come to pass that whosoever will not believe in my words, who am Hamashiach Yahushai, which the Father shall cause him to bring forth unto the Gentiles, and shall give unto him power that he shall bring them forth unto the Gentiles. It shall be done even as Moses said. They shall be cut off from among my people, who are of the covenant. So the ones who aren't, or the ones who are just sitting here saying, "Nah, nope, that's not true. That's not true," but they're not gonna be able to prove it wrong. They just don't want to believe it. Those people are going to be cut off. That's what this is saying right here. Okay. 12. And my people, who are a remnant of Jacob, shall be among the Gentiles. Okay, so we're going to be mixed in with the Gentiles, all right? Yea, in the midst of them, as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks of sheep, who, if he go through, both treadeth down and teareth in pieces, and none can deliver. So some kind of a transformation going on. That go back to the Jeremiah 16:16. First, there's a whole lot of fishers, a lot of fishermen, and then after that, there's a whole lot of hunters. Okay. 13. Their hand shall be lifted up upon their adversaries, and all their enemies shall be cut off. Yea, woe be unto the Gentiles, except they repent. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Father, that I will cut off thy horses out of the midst of thee, and I will destroy thy chariots. And I will cut off the cities of thy land, and throw down all thy strongholds. And I will cut off witchcrafts out of thy land, and thou shalt have no more soothsayers. There's your priests and pastors, all being cut off, all their power taken away from them. That's what the Most High is doing. That's what he's already started to do, as you can already see. These people have no power anymore. All right. Let's see here. 17. Thy graven images I will also cut off, and thy standing images out of the midst of thee, and thou shalt no more worship the works of thy hands. So as you can see, there's all this prophecy right now that you need to go into other books in order to get, so you can see what's going on right now. The Most High is making it plain, and he's giving back what he had taken away from his people. He is restoring them and returning them back to be in the proper order that they are supposed to be, in order to be able to worship the Most High in spirit and in truth. All praises to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother, who is wisdom, who is the Holy Spirit. Acknowledgement to Yahushai. Shalom.